Hi, my loves. Welcome back to the Starscartel channel. If you don't know, I'm Star. Um, y'all, yes, we got some new merch. I forgot to say that. Let me go ahead and say it in this video. We got some new merch, y'all. I got some jerseys. These are custom jerseys, y'all. I talk about it in the next video, but I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it here. Um, I've had several people ask about the custom jerseys that I usually get for my birthday for March Madness and asking if y'all can get them custom made too. So, you know what I'm saying? We got one. Okay, we got one. This is the new merch. You can get it custom made. You can get your own number and your name on the jersey. You can find it on my website along with the other merch, which I have a notebook for prayers and dreams. I have a new blanket, like a little fleece blanket that you can get, as well as a little mug. Got a little tea or coffee mug that you can get that says prayer changes things and Stars Cartel, as well as a little calendar. Okay, but anywho, let's get into the message. I'm here with a dream. In this dream, I was at like this school. And while I was here, it was kind of like I was in a position of somebody that was going to school like a child. And in this dream, my mother, as well as my friend's mother, were trying to get us into the same school. And we basically had to compete with each other to get into the school. We had to compete for the same spot. Okay, the scripture comes from Luke 19 and 25. And they said to him, Lord, he has 10 minas. For I say to you that to everyone having will be given, and from him not having, also what he has will be taken from him. But those my enemies who did not wish me to reign over them, bring here and slay before me. Oh, we. So here's the message. For whoever this is for, understand if you are put in a position to where like somebody is trying to compete with you, or you are put into a position to where you feel like you got to compete with somebody for a certain spot, um it may very well be a situation where you're not even supposed to be there. Like, and I'm just being real. You shouldn't have to compete with anybody for something that is yours. And I know that, in the context that may be confusing, but I'm just being real. Like, if it's really what it is, if it's really worth it for you to have that, then you shouldn't have to compete. It shouldn't be a situation where you got to stress yourself out and you got to work yourself hard and you got to beg people and you got to do all kind of crazy stuff. Like, what I'm thinking about right now is how, when you trying to get like how different sororities and fraternities, they have the what is it called, they have the thing where you have to do all that. I forgot what it's called. And baby, I used to, you know what I'm saying, when I was in high school, I was in what, I forgot what it's called. But you have the moment where you have to do all kind of crazy stuff, and you gotta, like, you know what I'm saying, you gotta stretch yourself out so that you can get your spot. God said if you got to do all that, that means it's not meant for you. What is meant for you, you ain't going to have to stress yourself out to get in there. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be a situation where you going to have to convince somebody and sweet talk somebody into allowing you to be in the position that God has for you. If the position is for you, it's going to be for you. Ain't no rush week. Ain't no stressing yourself out and carrying somebody books and you gotta eat this and you gotta do all this. Man, God said if you gotta do all that, it ain't for you. And that's just what it is. And you know what I'm saying? God is saying you have to think about it like, if God really intends for you to do something, it shouldn't be a situation to where you are basically hurting yourself, or regardless if this is physically, emotionally, or mentally, in order to have this thing. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to work hard to obtain something. It's one thing to, you know what I'm saying, to be the best at whatever it is, and for people to seek out to pull you in, you know what I'm saying? And it's one thing to be in a position to where, you know, you disposable to somebody. And I'm thinking, what I'm thinking about right now is the movie dang, I just stumped the yard. Stumped the yard in that movie where dude was so cold at dancing. It wasn't a situation where he was seeking out to be chosen. They were like literally seeking him out. And it wasn't like, that was the kind of vibe where it was, you know what I'm saying? Like it was me. Like it was like they wanted him to have the spot. It wasn't a situation where he had to stress himself out to get the spot. And even though in the end, dude told him, if you want to, you can apply. But just the fact that he went out his way to find him, to have a meeting with him, to ask him to apply is a whole different vibe than somebody trying to stress themselves out to, you know what I'm saying? I remember it was this group when I was in high school where in order to get into the group, you had to be friends with people that was already in the group, and they had to choose you. Like they had to put your name for it. They had to have a vote, and they had to decide if they want you to be in the group or not. Ain't nobody got time for that. And I just feel like God is saying, like, ain't nobody got time. When you do stuff like that, you kind of put yourself in a position to where you'll do anything just to be a part of it. And you know what I'm saying? You do all kind of crazy stuff and find yourself doing stuff that is not of God. Find yourself doing unholy things just so that you could, you know what I'm saying, be a part of a certain group, and to say that I'm in this clique here and I'm in that and I'm doing this and I'm doing, like, baby, ain't nobody got time for that. And I just feel like what God is saying for whoever this is for, when it comes to what he has for you, you're not finna have to fight with nobody over this. When it comes to what God has for you, you're not finna have to beg nobody to accept you and beg nobody to be your friend and pay somebody all this money and you doing all this. And you know, it's one thing to be, you know what I'm saying, in a little group, and you know y'all have money that y'all put together so that y'all can do little events, maybe y'all giving back to the community, or maybe y'all, you know what I'm saying, something like that, versus you in a position the way you paying somebody bills so that they could go ahead and be nice to you, or you know what I'm saying, you gotta watch their car and you gotta, you know, take their trash out, all kind of crazy stuff, like uh-uh. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing, you know, to do stuff like that. Like I've seen people, you know, y'all already know I used to be CNA. I see people do that for mama. You know what I'm saying? They come pick mama up and get her, you know, bring her nice clothes, take her to get her hair done, take her to get her nails done, take her to church and do all these, that, like, you know what I'm saying? I get that. But you know what I'm saying? Just so you can be friends with somebody, just so you can call me your friend, you want me to do what? Girl, bye. And I just feel like that's the vibe. God is saying, like, if you got to do all that, is it worth it? Because let's think about it. If they got you doing all that just so they can think about and consider calling you their friend, what they gonna ask you to do once you actually in the group? And like, you know what I'm saying? You are basically showing this person that you will do anything just so you can be their friend. You will do anything just so you can be part of their clique. You will do anything just so you can sit with them. Baby, let me tell you about life and how if you don't want me to sit with you, it's a chair over there. I'll bring my own chair. I don't just got to sit with you. You know what I'm saying? If you got that kind of attitude, 9 out of 10, I don't want to sit with you anyway, boo. And I'm just being real. I like my own company. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking about the song by Alicia Cara, Where the Wild Things Are, where she hold on, let me look up the lyrics real quick because I don't want to mess it up. Let me see if I can find it fast. I'm on live, so I can't be taking forever. Okay, I found it. Okay, yeah, she says, we don't care what they say, no way. And we will leave the empty chairs to those who say we can't sit here. We're fine all by ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like, you know, God has said that Like this song in general, I feel like it's such a like so cohesive to this message. Like you shouldn't have to feel as though you have to be bending over backwards to be friends with somebody. You shouldn't feel as though you are in a position to where you are basically serving somebody and kissing a you know what, just so that y'all can be cool and they can call you their friend and they can, you know what I'm saying, so that you can have a special hat or a special shirt, or you know what I'm saying, so that you can be invited. And just to be real, sometimes people do all this stuff just so they can be friends with certain people. And then after a certain amount of time, they don't be invited no more. They still decide they not gonna invite them to this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? Just because after you did all that, it could be a position to where you're not even invited no more. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes your whole blood will not invite you to a wedding or to a birthday party or to a cookout and stuff like that, and act like, well, now I'm not. You know what I'm saying? And and I'm just being real. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Why stress yourself out bending over backwards trying to beg somebody to be your friend when in reality God have friends that you like, that he has for you. God already has friends for you, and you ain't gonna have to beg them to invite you. You're not gonna have to beg them to involve you. You're not gonna have to beg them to let you in. And you know what I'm saying? That's the message. That's the message. God is saying you don't need that. You don't need that. And you will come to find, just like in the scripture it says, for I say to you that that's everyone having will be given, and from him not having, also what he has will be taken from him. So God is saying that, yeah, you can go for it, and it may be given to you, but 9 out of 10 is gonna be taken away. You know what I'm saying? And that's just being real. Somebody is showing you they don't want to be your friend. Listen, okay, believe them the first time. If they are telling you they don't want to be your friend, believe them, because guess what? Eventually they gonna show you. Just because, you know what I'm saying, you in a certain clique or you in a certain group, don't mean that people don't have a way of getting rid of people they don't like. And you know what I'm saying? I'm saying this because I don't want, no problems. But you know what I'm saying as far as what I can say on here. But y'all know what I mean, especially when it comes to groups and cliques and gangs and all this kind of stuff. If it's somebody that don't like you, they show you they don't like you, all it takes is them talking to somebody and saying, I need you to do this. I need you to do that. I need this to happen. I need, baby, and they will do it. And there it is. You know what I'm saying? And there it is. Although, we already know if it's not your time, it's not your time. But I'm just being real. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's not worth it to be knocking over stuff and stressing yourself out trying to be somebody's friend, especially if they showing you they don't want to be your friend. I've heard too many stories. I'm thinking right now of different cases of young women forcing themselves into cliques, gangs, groups where they just had to be friends and they just had to be included, and they was down for it. And you know what I'm saying? They had all the pictures of them wearing the colors and they throwing up the signs, and the exact same people that they was riding for turned on them. And that's just being real. And that's just like, you know what I'm saying? That's how it is. God is saying when it's intended for you to be a part of something, you gonna feel it. It's not gonna be a situation where you gonna have to beg somebody to be your friend. You're not gonna have to beg nobody so you can be invited and you can come around and you can do all these things. You ain't gonna have to do all that. That's the message. That's the message, y'all. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Deuces.